Yes, prediction.
Get it!
Are you ready? I was born ready.
Obviously, you're a little, aggravated by the line of questioning regarding Canelo.
I don't want to touch this, dirty, so bad, I don't want to touch his name.
I'm working on feeling the art of humbleness. Can you be with me? That's the reason why I'm crying, because I'm not that person no more. And I miss him. But sometimes I feel like a bitch. I don't want that person to come out, because when he comes out, hell is coming with him. And it's not funny at all. It must sound cool, like I'm a tough guy. It's just I hate that I'm scared.
It would be awesome to, be being a great war. Maybe with a Mexican.
Let's go! Way pop!
I have to put the joke.
No, hey.
Thank you for playing, man. I appreciate it.
Good timing, man.
Can't put predictions, man, but I definitely don't want to leave it to the judges.
Óyeme, activo y en vivo Sunday recap con En Vivo Lonely Boxing, the podcast with Manny Marrero.
Jono Gringo Hicks. And
breaking it down always like it is, like it should be, like you guys deserve it. Something a little bit different. Sunday recap. What transpired throughout the weekend in the world of boxing. And we got a special guest tonight, man.
I don't know. We got Mr. Marco Vasquez.
What is Zero?
AKA Mr. Pay-Per-View in the house. Thank you, brother, for joining us. Really appreciate it, man. So, we were talking about having a recap of the week, and a lot of things are happening. So we felt what better than to get the perspective of a guy who's fighting, up and coming, and making a name for himself. And I've never been on a pay-per-view. Manny's never been on a pay-per-view that we know of. So
I pay for pay-per-views.
What is that?
I pay for them, like? Sean.
Huh? Honestly, the cool thing is that I really didn't know, because I have a lot of family down south in McAllen and Mission that weren't unable, to drive out here to make all that, because of work and stuff like that, because it's on a Friday. And they were like, oh, well, let us know. And, last minute I saw that they had a pay-per-view, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. I'm not going to lie. And then I saw that, but it was really cool to have all my family down south. And everybody watched me, even because they had that, that option there. And it felt really good, because, a lot of them, sometimes do miss my fights because they're on Fridays, sometimes Saturdays, stuff like that. But, to have all my family, like, in there and, fully loaded, it was pretty cool.
Absolutely, man. So, speaking of pretty cool, you pretty cool capper on a real 7-card loaded. Manny was there, getting great shots as usual. And 30 seconds, man, like, you clearly you're not worried about overtime, man. You just want to go ahead and, get in there and get out. How would you rate your performance? And then I'd like to hear what Manny thought. Because, Manny's, he can be like that. He's real particular.
Yeah. We don't get paid by the hour. So, you just got to handle your job and get it out of there.
Right.
No. In all reality, my performance, I give myself like a B+. You know what I mean?
In 19 seconds, a B+?
Yeah, I give myself a B+ because not every fight's perfect, and even looking at some of the things on the film that I did see, could have stuck my jab a little bit harder. Could have moved my head. To set up different things, stuff like that. I mean, I did. I knew he was a bigger guy. He was coming from. I think his last fights were like 185, 190, 187. And stuff like that, and I knew he was gonna be a bigger guy. So my dad, and he gradually starts throwing more and more as the rounds go on. Some of that was like, we're gonna have to bring him to the body and get him out of there, or slow him down so he doesn't pick up that momentum. And I knew the body shots are gonna be the money shots. So it just so happened that we found the sweet spot early, and we were able to capitalize on it.
All right, cool.
So we even talked
California.
Yeah, we even talked about this before the fight. Usually, you come in with so much energy, you're hyped up, and you just want to be so aggressive. It just happens to be, Lamar Bolden twice, right? That draw that came in that kind of started, and then you had another opportunity to kind of, kind of like a rematch kind of thing. But those instances were coincidental that you went from a co-main event to the main event. Now, this fight, you knew you were the main event. And I think you have a lot of experience already. You've been there and coincidentally twice. But when I did see you in the ring, you were so calm. I mean, your stance, you were so like really in the zone, looking for that right moment. Do you feel the fact that you had a lot of pressure before because you were put in a spot in where you are that main event? You knew you were that main event, and you knew you're going to have a lot of people back up, and you knew what are some of the areas you need to work in the past. You told us about it. Was that excitement led you to the performance of what happened on Friday night?
A little bit of that, but I definitely do say, I did take like a 3-year layoff. It was a good while, and I do say at my beginning fights, and I did look a little, I guess you could say, staticky and jumpy and stuff like that. But because it was the nerves, getting back in the groove, because I mean, you can spar all you want, you can practice all you want, but under the lights is a different type of pressure, different, relaxation and stuff like that. But I definitely do say, coming down to the last couple fights and this one here, I felt really poised, and that's what we've been working on, is to stay calm, cool, relax, and work on our poise. Because I mean, if you're too staticky, too jumpy, you can always mess up or do something wrong and get yourself into trouble. But this last time, man, I know these last 2 fights easy. I've been training my butt off, and every time I hit the ring, like, I just think about everything we've been working on, and every fight I just try to do better than the last one. You know what I mean? Like, because we're working to the top, so the top's, that's up there.
Being frustrated too that you had to cancel a couple of your fights, one because of injury and the other one because of the opponent, and so it was difficult to get an opponent at the last minute. And I've seen you, I've talked to you, man. You're just so pumped up, and you people to back you up, and all of a sudden, it's not going to happen. So I was just glad that actually happened. What I have a question for you, because a lot of people, a lot of the fans are thinking, okay, Big Belt Championship, WBC backing it up, Boxing Showcase doing amazing things. Wow, what a step up from everything. I mean, this is great. And for you guys that are considering possibly seeing social medias and seeing some of these things that we post, and you're considering to go, guys, this is a good stuff. What's happening here in the Metroplex. But as a boxer, as a professional. Mm-hmm. What is exactly the win yesterday, and what this tournament would mean to you and to your career if you're able to accomplish and win the Big Belt champion at the middle at the 160?
I mean, what this does for my career, it's a great opportunity, to get my name out there, not only here locally or just for the state, but like winning the tournament or doing other big things. It's just, it's all about opportunities now, and especially in boxing, you know what I mean, just to get your name out there. Now, coming down off the last one, it's just another fight on the road. We fought a veteran, and we picked him because, he was 24 and 28, so he had a lot of good experience, and, he's fought because our fight was originally supposed to go 6 rounds. But some things happened. I don't know. I really and truly, because the guy came in like 4 pounds overweight, and so we're doing it, and he tried to come in as a bigger guy, and I was like, you know what, it's okay, no worries, But as of this, it's just another step in the road, man. You're just trying to climb up to the top.
And you're doing good, and I'm glad to see you're on to the next round. One of the things as a pro and as a fan. But looking at a pro like yourself, you're joining in this kind of tournaments. There's a lot of pros out there that didn't join the tournament for whatever reason it was. Winning this tournament, does it do anything additional to your career? I know you can say I entered a tournament, I won, but is there any type of rankings within the WBC? Maybe you can answer that to me, because I still don't know. What additional perks you get by winning this tournament, right? Because you're putting everything on the line. You're a pro guy. And a lot of people that are pro maybe without contracts, or maybe they're still with contracts, couldn't participate in this tournament. But like, you got to be concerned, if you take a loss, would that damage your career at any given point? Or would a win give you certain additional rankings within the WBC? I mean, can you talk to me a little bit more about that, if you know?
Honestly, I'm not exactly too sure. I don't know the fine lines. I know my dad, and my coaches, they know all the good stuff, but they just told me that there's a fight here and we're going to go ahead and fight. And, it's a great opportunity because, it is a WBC tournament, and, they are putting a lot of advertisement, a lot of recognition out there for everybody to get going. And, the Boxing Showcase is really doing a great thing. I feel like they're really bringing boxing back to Dallas, throwing all these fights and getting all these people on the cards and showing the local talent, and I feel like it's giving like a big old spunk over here locally. And I do think it is spreading because, I'm hearing my family from down south, they're talking about the Boxing Showcase. I have friends out in Louisiana, and they're like, oh, we found in this card, they went to the Austin one and stuff like that. And so I really do think that, it is getting a name out there for it, but I really don't know all the details on what exactly.
Well, at least you guys know that it's at
I just
least
like to just keep me busy though.
Right. At least it's another opportunity that you're risking a lot for your career just entering the tournament. But the rewards you feel and your team feels that they're gonna lift you up into the next level, whether it's because the boxing showcase, the way they're promoting, and then all social medias. I mean, I was watching today some of the videos and people like interacting and commenting, met some of the commentators out there, met a lot of the people for the third time. Since we have events, and it's just the word spreading around. Plus, having the WBC attached to it in some way, shape, or form, you might get that, wow, hey, yeah, I'm a champion empath, and gives you that motivation to go in the front. So, that's good. Just good. As a fan, you just don't know certain things, but at least we know and we understand it's an opportunity for you and your team to showcase your talent and what you've been doing for the last few years. Because a lot of people's like, Marco, who that? You know what I mean? No, we've seen them. We know the grinding. We know the ins and outs. Not everything 100%. But and if we do, we keep it confidential. But anyway, no, it's a matter of your team working hard and being able to give us some entertainment like you did last night. Friday night. It was fantastic. I am upset, Mark. I'm upset because I wasn't being able to record your little thing. I said, let me record later on when it gets excited. Boom! Oh, he's down. So I couldn't record your 5. But anyway, great performance, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, we the hydration was great. We cut away really good, and everything going down to it. I definitely do say like everything was great about this training camp. My sparring partners, because they switched up some opponents on us back and forth, and then finally they were like, well, they gave us a limit of 2 veteran guys, and he was one of them. So I was like, I really want to go deep waters, with somebody experienced in it. But it just so happened that we had a good game plan. We were able to execute it earlier than later. But this is part of the game. We want to the next fight.
Do you have an opponent already you can share with us, or is there anyone that concerns you in terms of like your preparation in order to go on to the next round?
No, I definitely do say though, as a part of the tournament and stuff, I'm not actually a part. I fight on the cards and everything like that because I have too much experience for the actual commitment of the tournament. So the tournament basically, I think it's like people who have 4 or 5 fights or less, and that's why you see a lot of new boxers and stuff like that turn pro and they go ahead and get it all signed up. But I'm just able because of the boxing showcase and everything like that, and they invite me to fight on the card, so I'm able to take the opportunity and headline or just get a fight on there period and showcase my skill.
Okay, so you're part of the card, but you're not part of the tournament then.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Okay. Then that's something that I was confused because I thought you were part of the tournament. I appreciate you clarifying that because this is the question that I talked to you earlier.
I was gonna let you get in, then I was like, I'll have my time.
Okay. Yeah, man. I'm here going on, into a rabbit hole, but I'm also thinking as a fan, it's like, man, I mean, this guy has a lot of great opportunities going into a tournament like this. He could get hurt pretty quickly. You know what I mean? It's just, so I'm glad that you clarify that, and to all viewers, hey, we apologize. Hey, he's not part of it, but it's great to have the caliber of and everything that you bring into to attach it to what's happening in the tournament and make something exciting. The way the boxing showcase has been doing it for the last 3 times I've been there.
Yeah. I was they just give me the opportunity to fight, to stay busy, and
okay.
Whether it's headlining or just being a part of it and anything like that. I know there, I can't really say anything right now, but there's big talks of some bigger things here in the near future. But definitely do say, as long as I'm staying busy, strap season is here to come.
That's right.
All right. No, trying to get you, Mark, trying to get you in trouble, man. I'm a bad person. But now, obviously, you do have the experience. I like the fact they're keeping you busy and they're integrating it with allowing you to, like their namesake says, showcase your talents. But you do have a stablemate who's a part of the tournament.
Yeah, Jake Isasi, that's my boy right there.
All right. So, and I thought that was great. You actually took time out of your preparation to come out when he was coming out during his ring walk.
Yeah,
so, that was just spontaneous, or you're like, man. I gotta be a
No,
part of
we
this.
had a plan from the beginning. No, like I talked about it. I was like, look, yeah, like we were talking about the song, and I was like, look, man, I was like, your song's gonna play. I was like, you gonna get a little rowdy. I was like, I'm gonna be behind you like a little conga line. I like, but you know, when the fight started happening, we were laughing and stuff. But when we were coming out, I was like, yeah, I was like, well, you got no choice. I was like, I'm gonna walk out with you no matter what. He's like, of course. He's like, I wouldn't have it any other way.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So even though you're participating in the cards, you're not a part of the tournament. When is your next fight date so we can look forward to seeing you again?
There's talks possibly right now, November 5th. I'm not exactly too sure yet. Yeah, it'll be pretty soon. Just to keep staying this busy. It's either in November, December. I'm not exactly too sure until they give me like the final okay. But I just know that that's one of the days that they gave me to look forward to. You know, in case of tournament or an opponent.
Absolutely,
stuff.
awesome. So I know that you were a little critical of your performance. You gave yourself a B, right? B plus.
Yeah, B plus.
All right, B plus. All right. So what I'll go ahead and say is I'm gonna go ahead and give you an A. Right. Again, I wasn't there live like my brother Manny, but I really appreciate the addition, an A for addition to the fight game. Like, you know, the last time I saw a lot more poise and patience. Obviously, this time you weren't messing around, man. You jumped all over your opponent, and I really like your emphasis on the body attack because you say that your jab wasn't, you know, as crisp as usually you have it. You know, I can see like you have a nice power jab, you know, kind of like, you know, get the respect of your opponent, a good the right power jab.
Thank you.
Like the way you put the emphasis in the 1-2 you set up on that body shot was it because you had a bigger opponent and you saw he was, you know, not the fittest guy like yourself, so you're like, you know, he's kind of soft around the body that he could maybe be susceptible to a body shot?
Well, we know since well, I don't know what kind of shape he was going to come in or anything like that. I just knew that he was a veteran with a lot of good fights. Hey, turn that off. Sorry about it, guys. I have my little one here over here playing with toys.
Hey, that's cool.
Hold on, give me one second. Stop. Hey, all right, now we're good. Sorry. So I knew he was a bigger guy, and you know he fought at a lot of good weights, and you know he goes up and down and things like that. And I just saw that there was an opportunity after the weigh-ins. I was like, I'm gonna have to break this guy down no matter what, even if he goes later rounds. So we were working on that a lot during training camp, just because I know we're going towards longer rounds. You know, 6 to 8 rounds now that we're trying to lead up there, and you know the body shots are more sustainable and. You know, you got to break down the fighter a lot easier. But I definitely do say we were working on them a lot during training camp, and you know, setups and things like that. It just happened that we executed it really well during the fight.
No, absolutely, man. It was you know, great performance. You know, and it was over before man could actually capture it. So it was definitely something.
Well, I think you handle well as a top. You know, in there, you can see the excitement of the crowd. And you came in and did a little show for everyone, and I think it turned out to be great because, you know, I think people really wanted you to get, whether, no matter what kind of opponent, it's still a dangerous opponent, and so you definitely for 19 seconds to entertain. But what I want to ask you about is the real entertainment fight. Little stablemate Isasi, 2 fights, man. Those 2 fights for this little kid, man, they've been real tough. 4 rounders, both of them. It's a brawl. Okay, as a stablemate, it's being part of that. Are you concerned that his career started already like this, or is there any excitement behind the saying, "Hey, this is what we expected. We know this was going to happen." There's no concern. He's learning. He got a little bit fatigued yesterday. We did see that, but this is the way we want to continue to push him up because this is what he's going to bring excitement into the ring. Is that the case?
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely do say. I mean, it doesn't bring me any concern. I do say he just has a lot better experience going into these next fights. You know, because he took somebody's undefeated record. The dude that he fought was 2-0. I mean, now whatever they put in front of him, I know Jake's a really good boxer. He adapts very well to everything. I mean, we spar with him all the time. You know, spar together and stuff like that, and we move around. And I definitely do say the kid's fast and he catches on really well. I don't have any doubt or anything like that. I'm saying that he's not going to win, you know, at 147 for the tournament. The kid's super good. Now, I definitely just say, you know, the fights have been tough on him and stuff like that. You know, he has 2 awkward fighters. One like a long defensive counter southpaw, and the other one was kind of like an unorthodox southpaw. He's a little aggressive, a little different. But I definitely do say, you know, going into his next fights and stuff like that, like you already fought all the awkward ones. You know, coming down to a traditional boxer, he shouldn't have any problem. If he can adapt to these, he can adapt to those, and I don't have any. You know, he got it.
Yeah.
All right, cool,
You see,
man.
so he's aware of the caliber of the opponent. He mentally gets ready, and he goes to war.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you, that kid pushes me inside the gym, man. Whenever I'm in there, like whenever we train stuff like that, I'm like, oh, you know, like he can't outdo me. So then I start going hard, and he sees it, and then he starts pushing himself, and I'm like, all right, let me turn it up then. And then he starts turning up. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna turn up even more. So we just kind of.
I gotta say, Mark, I gotta say, people love you guys. People, I think this is gonna be a great trio. Where you're gonna be Listo Gaitan, you, Manuero, and Isasi. But I gotta tell you something, man. I gotta tell you something. And, you know, I got the crowd pumped both ways. I mean, I was taking videos and I was proud and pumping up, and the Sassy crowd went nuts.
Crazy.
I mean, I was like, wow, this is
deep.
This is damn. I mean, come on. It's all great, but you know, it's just good to see that the support you guys have behind it, that, you know, this is going to be fantastic. It's going to continue to grow. I think the tournament for him is going to do phenomenal, you know, in his career, and he's going to have that into the resume. You talked to us a little bit about that, and, you know, involvement into being part of their camp, part of the boxing showcase, and continue to get some action on your end, which it's been lacking at that. But we do definitely want to see Sasi continue to grow and give us this kind of performance. For myself, I was kind of concerned a little bit. I mean, getting hit that much, usually you don't see, great talented kids, being matched like very tough early in their career. And so usually we're used to someone that will give them a couple of rounds here or there, but usually we see kids like that with this kind of potential knocking out quickly. Is it because more of the power do you feel like he doesn't have it? Is that something he needs to work on to be able to finally have the full package? Or he's just the type of boxer skill that just wants to not get in trouble, but wants to give a show to everyone?
No, they're definitely working on him sitting on his punch a little bit more and stuff like that. But it's all, it's all part of the, the pros. You go from the amateur and you start settling down and, start getting more poised and, you start controlling a little bit better. You start hitting a little different, stuff like that. Now, they are working on it. Now, I definitely do say, in the amateurs, he was a great boxer. He barely even got touched and stuff like that. But coming down to the pros, it's just a matter of him settling down and, the timing is a little bit different and stuff like that. But I definitely do say, the kid's a great boxer, so I mean, all you got to do is a little bit to get a good shot in, and you'll start seeing some knockouts here soon.
Yeah, it's charismatic, loves the people. He spent a lot of time with the public, taking pictures and being part of that, and I think that's the difference maker, because the fans want to be connected with their, whether it's family member, whether it's idol, whether it's prospect, potential contender. I mean, we did see a lot of new people out there that came in for the first time, and they're like very excited, and they look forward to the Fort Worth one right here. I believe it's November 5th. That's going to be very interesting, and what is the fourth leg? Because then we will go to Houston before that. But man, I mean, I'm excited to keep following this up, Sean. I mean, we talked about it. I think you need to save me a room in your house because I'm probably heading down there to Houston.
Hey man, we always got room for family, so. That would be,
I know, right?
Bring it along, man. We'll be ready.
I'll get a hotel, Guido. Let's do it.
All right.
Oh man, that would be great. But one thing I've been wanting to ask, and it's kind of funny coming from the fat guy, but I know that you also pride yourself on your physical fitness, Guido. So as far as like, do you feel like you're at the right weight? And do you ever get like, I know that Brandon and Hector do a good job as far as your nutrition, and can you set as far as you're hitting your weight and your weight cuts. Do you feel like, or do they ever talk about you being too muscular? Because like, I know you say you pride yourself on, being a bodybuilder. And do you feel like you're at the right weight and you don't feel like, there's any kind of issue with your physique at all? Like you're comfortable where you're at 160?
Yeah, I'm very comfortable at 160. Now there is talk I might go down 154. Here in the future, maybe. It's just a talk of the trade right now because I definitely can't drop lower. I don't really diet too hard.
But this one was 162, right?
Yeah, this one was 162. I really don't know. They told us, the guy was a little heavier or something like that before, so it was like it's okay. We did a catch weight and he still came in heavy, but I was like, It is what it is. I was like, come on.
You seem
I
to
was,
be,
I
you
was,
seem
I was
to
like,
be pretty comfortable
I
there.
was ready to fight, so I didn't want to argue and do all that hassle.
Right, right.
I was like,
Bring it down.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
really,
Okay,
you really,
pain.
you really
Yeah.
mastered the rope climb with the arm pump. I mean, that's your move, man. You should get that silhouette like on your shorts.
What
Like
happened?
after every fight, man, you managed to get that arm pump, that flex.
Yeah,
Like
you know, it's
That's awesome,
actually,
man.
actually a joke.
That's awesome.
That's why I do it. I'm not gonna lie, because I think on 2 or 3 fights ago, whenever I won and I flexed like this, Jacob's making fun of me. He's like, why do you sound like a
Jacob?
yeah, he goes, why do you sound like a cheerleader? And I was like, what do you mean? He like pulled the picture up, and I was like, man. So that's why whenever it came up there, I looked at him because he was taking pictures. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna look at him, and we were cracking up in the corner.
You should go like this, and then look at him like,
yeah, man.
Dude.
Awesome. All right, so you know, we want to make sure before we let you go. Obviously, you know, a lot of things have been going on in boxing. Just want to touch on a few of them, get your opinion. If you have one, please let us know. If not, you know, we'll just keep it going so you can get back to your family and you know, enjoy the rest of your weekend. So quickly, do you have any thoughts on, like, from the fighter perspective, you know, how hard is it, like in the case of Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos, as far as having dates change? I'm not even getting into the whole network thing or, you know, money or anything but just from the fight perspective as a fighter, having constant date changes, that has to mess up your psyche. Can you relate to them as far as how frustrating that must be? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, that'd be very frustrating because I mean, boxing is like 80% mental. You know what I mean? And like when you're ready to go to war and you're set and stuff like that, and you know you're ready at that exact moment and stuff like that. Now dates can change. I mean, I understand if date changes once, whether it's earlier or later or something like that. You know, you get it going. But already is like the third time,
seventh.
Oh wow, no.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like,
not only that, yeah.
Honestly, it changed so much to the point where like I'm like
you're numb to it.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, like, I mean, they've been talking about it for like almost a year now, and I'm like, dude, I was like, this thing's been going crazy. I mean, yeah, no, that definitely, you lose interest really quickly. I mean, and I definitely do say now that Kambosos didn't want to sign on the contract for the new date change and stuff like that. You know, Teal's making a big deal, but I'm like, the date change is a little weird because it's on a Monday, right?
Yeah,
the new date.
Yeah,
it was like on a Monday, and like I understand, you know. I understand both perspectives. I know Teal wants to fight, but the other guy is like, it's already changed so many times. So honestly, that predicament right there is a little weird. But yeah, it definitely psyched me out. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, when you're ready to fight, you're ready to fight, man.
No, definitely. You know, I know how you get that laser focus, you get fired up, and you know, you're only human. So when you have that disappointment of a delay, but have multiple delays, that's rough, man. That's you know, that's brutal.
That's crazy. I didn't even realize it was that many times. You know, I just always heard about it. You know, and I'm like, oh, they changed, and I thought it was somebody else just bringing it back up and stuff like that. But 7 times, that's
I mean, because you know, initially, you know, they had they pushed it back because they didn't want to compete on a Sunday versus the Mayweather fight. Mm-hmm. Then the date got canceled and pushed because the COVID. You know, which, hey, you know, that happens. But then it got weird because then after the COVID, Teofimo no longer wanted to go to Australia, you know, but they wanted to go to Australia because Kambosos was a star there and they were going to make their money at the gate. And then it's just been a cluster ever since. I mean, it's going on and on. And now it got to the point where it's getting real ugly that Triller is trying to take away the mandatory. They're trying to have the WBO remove Kambosos' ranking. So he's no longer the mandatory. Like that's ugly, man.
And I definitely say boxing is very political. You know what I mean? I guess when you get to that stage up there, but I mean, I feel like maybe in a contract or something they should have to put like, you know, it's mandatory you fight on this date, no date change, or there's some type of penalty. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Maybe the purse.
Or, you got to protect yourself because, like, right now, George Kambosos was trying to, you know, sue for the escrow of his purse to get the money because so much time is lost, man.
Yeah, so much time is lost. I mean, let's say he could have fought once or twice, you know, just depending on, you know, opponents or that's money in his thing. That's experience. That's time being wasted. Nobody, especially in this sport, nobody likes their time being wasted because everything flies by so fast.
Yeah, in the last update they had. Oh, sorry, I don't want to get you in the middle. You're the man. Sorry, that's important. All right, is that to top it all off? All this Triller back and forth. Now it's looking like Triller's not going to host a fight at all. Like people
I think that's better. I'm glad that.
I mean, it's better, but
if they don't go back to a bid, Matchroom gets the rights because they were the second.
They're the second highest
bid. Each fighter will get less money, but the problem right now, according to Yahoo Sports, comment that came in this morning is that there's no flights for Kambosos to go back, so he would have to be stranded here in the U.S. for a month, and then he has to enter 15 days protocol. And he just actually had a baby, so he had to fly back again. He can fly to New York for the 4th of October, but then the return with that. So if you extend it to the end of the month, his personal life gets paralyzed, which this is where I want to come in is when you think about something of this magnitude and you have your little girl, by the way, loved it, in the ring. Got some great pictures.
Yeah, that was awesome, man.
Enjoying with your little one. It's great to see Daddy grinding and working in things are because she'll grow up and she'll be concerned about the sport. But anyway, having the family, having an outside life, and all the dedication that you put into the sport, and then being canceled when you go through a training camp to a training camp, you focus throughout. When they change the date, does that messes things up for the boxer? And can you really juggle that family into the business part of it? How difficult may that be?
I mean, you can definitely juggle like the family and the business. Now, don't get me wrong. Is there going to be like complications or frustrations along with it? Yeah, there is. But we're in a tough sport, and it comes to a lot of different things. Sometimes you got to stay away from your family to train and do all this type of stuff. But I definitely do say with the complications that this fight has brought, and then now it's bringing more. And he just had a new baby and stuff like that. Yeah, it definitely. Things will get a little heated, at least, or frustrations for Kambosos and all that type of stuff. But man, with this prolonged fight and stuff like that, and all his new stuff coming along, I definitely understand his frustration. But
who do you? I mean, not you're picking sides, but just like as a man, as a fighter, as a father. Who do you kind of empathize with more? Is it more Kambosos side, Teofimo, or like both of them?
I mean, both of them. I mean, I guess you could say both. I do sympathize a little bit more for Kambosos because, he's just been ready to fight this whole entire time, most of the time, and a lot of the times, it has been, you can't really say anything, but Tio got, sick from COVID, and then the date changed and stuff like that. But I mean, can't really sympathize too much, but I do say the one who's been ready the most has been Kambosos. So, I got to give it to the man there. You know what I mean? He's just been waiting to fight this whole entire time. Right.
And that's the thing, though. They're going to pin everything on him because he's the B side, clearly. He's set to make about $2.1 million. That's like, best he's ever gotten paid. But also, because everything's now managed through a lawyer, I get it. I get him trying to go through the law to protect him, and, they can't find him. I mean, that's all media stuff. They can't find him. No, go through the lawyer. Lawyer's going through a process. They need to go because it's interfering with a lot of things. And, in the meantime, he had to be patient enough for overcome the October COVID for July for that first time they moved it for Teofimo got COVID. And then after that, all the moves around that's been happening, all the gossiping. Hey, you want to blame someone. No one wants to want to blame, the fake over, as we talked about in Teofimo Lopez. Yeah. So now the poor guy is just being targeted right now. I just hope they can solve this in. He'll be making less money if it goes through Eddie Hearn or if it goes through another bid. I'm sure Bob Aaron's not going to pay for that. He's going to have someone else pay for it. But, I think it'll be nice. They're saying Isaac Cruz. They want him to IBF to replace Kambosos and, take him out. Just forfeit his mandatory because of he's not showing up. And I get it. Guy's frustrated. Come on, give him a freaking break. So he was patient enough to go through the whole thing. And then now you're starting to, pressure him. And then the second thing is that their COO came up and said that, it was his fault putting the fight on the 4th of October, which, by the way, guys, tonight is when we find out whether the Yankees will play Boston. Tonight's the last game for all, Seattle, Boston, Toronto, and New York. So that's why didn't you think about those things? Monday Night Football. I mean, this is, and they're screaming right now because they're losing $10 million in advertising. Why did you bid $6 million in it in the first place? A fight that, with all respect, it doesn't deserve that purse, in my eyes. But am I going to pay for it? Heck yeah, I'm going to freaking pay for it. But the reality is both fights deserve money, and I get it. I don't want to go over the Teofimo stuff because you gringo, you know how I feel about that.
He gets fired up, man. He gets fired up. But, speaking of fired up,
I can feel it. I can
we get
feel
out
it
of here.
side over here.
Let's fire it up.
What's up? What's up, man? Chad Boxing and Sports. Much respect. Thank you for the comment, sir. So, Eduardo, what's your thoughts? I mean, obviously, we're going into a big week, right? Or do you care? What's your thoughts, real quick, before you give a shout out to all your sponsors and family? Any thoughts? Any excitement? No excitement? You don't care? You wish you were on the card? What's your thoughts on Fury Wilder 3?
Fury Wilder is going to be the same thing. I think Fury is going to whoop him pretty easy. Honestly, this time I feel like Fury is going to get to him a lot sooner.
You're my man.
Now, it's got a little personal. They've had some blabber back and forth, and they're talking and stuff like that. And coming down, I just feel like Fury on this one is going to be fighting instead of like boxing so much, stuff like that. But it also might set him up, for a bad opportunity and stuff like that for Braun, for the Bronze Bomber to go ahead and capitalize. But I just think he's too slick, and I feel like he's going to put a beat down this fight here. My prediction, I say, honestly, stoppage by like 6 or 7.
Oh man!
Wow.
Yeah,
he didn't even blink. Eduardo, he's always intense, even when he does his predictions. He never blinks during his predictions.
Wow. Okay.
Some tape. I feel like Fury's gonna go out there and he's gonna dance a little bit, but I feel like now he's gonna start putting a little bit more combos in there together.
Do you think he's getting well prepared and stop being at the whole media part of stuff and being everywhere like you goofy? I mean, that's what I love about him. He's not a someone that will empower or like I look like as an idol, as a role model. But when it comes to the entertainment part of it, that's why I always debate with people. He's an entertainer.
Yeah.
Right? But at the same time, do you feel, because I gotta tell you, if I was Wilder, I'd be like in the zone. And I think I've seen that from Wilder. Fury, is he really on the zone? Do you feel what you've seen throughout social medias and maybe in the news here, there, do you think he's really prepared for this?
I mean, one could say no, one could say yes, because we don't know what's all happening behind the scenes. I know, media and stuff like that looks crazy, being everywhere, but you never know how hard a guy's training or what he's doing behind the scenes. So I can't really give too much of a take on that, because I mean, off camera or doing what he's doing, he might be training his ass off, or he might be running all the time and getting ready. Now I know the championship fights, but to each his own. Everybody does it a little bit differently. You know what I mean? Mayweather used to stay up at 2, 4, 5 a.m. and train 3 times a day. And some people are like, well, you got to get your sleep. You're not supposed to be. So, I mean, everything is different for every single fighter.
Absolutely, man. Well said. And speaking of well said, any closing comments to family, friends, or your sponsors? Man, you got a badass fight kit, man. It made me want to lose weight and get one.
By the way, I met the guys. I met the guys over there at your chiropractor people. They're awesome. They're fantastic. Who are they, man?
Man, they're great. Hey, shout out to City Car Sports Center. I'm telling you, I used to feel a little stiff and everything like that, but man, they've been working on me, my back, my legs, my shoulders, my arms, and I definitely do say I could feel it like tenfold inside the ring, because moving around, doing everything, like I'm not as sore from the therapy and the physical therapy that they've had and everything like that. Like, not as sore, and I'm able to do a lot more things, and I feel way better and getting down to it. Shout out to them, because there's some real ones for that one. Hey, and give a big shout out.
And I love it more. We were talking about they've been to Puerto Rico and they had a good time, and so I even love it more. Check them out.
Hey, those guys, they're dangerous. So I'm telling you, man. Oh man, but they're great guys, man. I couldn't ask more from them, man. And I'm thankful, they're alongside with me, as a part of the team. So, I told them everybody's going to rise to the top together. And I couldn't do it without these guys, because there's been some days, you wake up after sparring, because there's like sparring like 5 days in a row. For the last one, we didn't get too much, so like we had to pack it all in at once. And sparring, I was like, dude, I am. Or he's like, I got you. Don't even worry about it. And I kid you not, I left out of there. Next day, I woke up. I was like magical. Like I was floating on a cloud. I felt great.
That's awesome, man. Because like we've said before, our biggest concern is obviously that you're happy with your family and that you're healthy, so you can have the career that you deserve. So, thanks again so much, and we appreciate you. And you, man, keep doing your thing, man. And if anybody wants to follow you on social media so they learn more about Marco Aguero Vasquez, where can they go?
On Instagram, you can find me at _Team Vasquez. That's Vasquez VASQUEZ. And then Facebook is on Mark Vasquez. And then you can find me on Twitter at Team Vasquez 01 or 0.
All right.
And his family, these guys are for real, man. Everyone that I know these guys they're great. They're awesome. That's what it's all about. We thank you guys for the love, man. You guys are family, bro. We're excited about to be part of your career, and we look forward to continue to see you, man. Lots of love.
The boxing guys, hey, if y'all know them now, because you're gonna know them in the future, man. These guys are great, and I appreciate
man.
Guys.
Much love, man. Checks in the mail, brother.
Vivo!
All right, man. Have a good one.
Let's go, Cowboys!
Guys, see you later.